Man, oh man, last weekend, if your last name was Stark, it wasn't really a good weekend for you. And I don't really care what you say. Y'all have had a week. Spoilers aside, if your last name was Stark, you didn't really have a good weekend last week. Or if you admire or adore or respect someone with the last name of Stark, it wasn't a good weekend for you last weekend. But this weekend seems to be, I don't know, a little better, almost. This weekend is probably the most nerdy, geeky weekend of all time. At least this Saturday, anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, blurs and nerds, freaks and geeks, this is DYSG, episode 7. All right, everyone. Once again, welcome to Do You Speak Geek? I am your host, Nix. And this weekend, people, it is not only Free Comic Book Day, but as today's date gives you the idea, it is May the 4th. So it is May the 4th be with you. Awesome weekend, by the way. Yes, it is. You clap for that. Yeah. Clap for that. It's a great idea. Yeah. You can applaud that. Yes, thank you. Yes, Free Comic Book Day. May the 4th be with you. Yes. Me, myself, personally, I went out and hit several comic book shops around the 757 area, which is where I live. Shout out to Greg and everyone over at Local Heroes on Colonial. Shout out to Trilogy Comics on East Little Creek. Shout out to everyone at Xeno Comics out there on, I believe that's Sparrow in Chesapeake, Virginia. Oh, and a big shout out to Magic Mo. Amazing cosplayer, people. I got a chance to meet her and talk with her. She's going to be at Tidewater Comic Con if anyone is interested in meeting her. I'll definitely be looking forward to meeting her and talking to her again. Amazing cosplayer. Go check out her social medias at Magic Mo Cosplay. She's on Instagram and Facebook. Also, shout out to everyone out there in Atlantis Comics in the Ocean View section of Norfolk. Shout out to Kiki. Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Really? I can't sing a little bit? Okay, alright. I see how y'all gonna do me. But anyways, like I said, DYSG episode 7. If you are joining us for the first time, you can find us at the host site, which is Spreaker.com. Go there, hit the subscribe, like the episodes, and continue to follow us. And as you are following us, you can hit us on the social medias. Go to Facebook at DYSG Media, Twitter at _ Do You Speak Geek, and Instagram at Do You Speak Geek. You can also see what we got cooking up at YouTube.com, people. The Do You Speak Geek page is up. The Daddy and Dono Show is the hosting site for... Actually, no, Daddy and Dono is the show, one of the shows, that is being hosted at Do You Speak Geek on YouTube. We have plenty of episodes up there. Check us out. Tell us what you think. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit like. Flick that bell. Smash that bell. Hulk smash that bell for all notifications. And be sure to leave comments. We love comments. Also, the Patreon page is up, $1 a month, and that will give you exclusive content starting this month, actually. So be on the lookout for information as well as little clues as to what that will be. Anyways, as we do about this time, now that we have paid some bills, let's speak geek. Now, I'm going to lead with a little bit of sad news this first bit for Do You Speak Geek. we have lost actor Peter Mayhew. As you all know, Peter Mayhew was the man in the suit for Chewbacca during the original Star Wars trilogy, as well as for The Force Awakens. Peter Mayhew passed away at the age of 74. He will truly and utterly be missed by the likes of many people, and it couldn't have happened, I don't know if you want to say it, a worse or a better weekend than May the 4th be with you. But here on Star Wars Day, here at Do You Speak Geek, myself and all of our fans, sir, we tip our hat to you. Rest well, rest easy, and rest in peace to Peter Mayhew. In addition to it being May 4th, as I said, this is also Free Comic Book Day. Now, some of you may not know the history behind this great day. Back in 2001, Joe Field was writing columns as an industry magazine and saw how successful featured films based on comic book franchises were providing the comic industry with a positive culture and financial turnaround from the spectacular bust of the late 1990s. Now, the first Free Comic Book Day was actually the same weekend in 2002 when Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, hit theaters. Fast forward, and we have one of the most heavily featured comics days of all time. People really look forward to Free Comic Book Day, myself included. It's a real bonding moment for me and Dono, me and my son. And we here at Do You Speak Geek, we love Free Comic Book Day. So wherever you are out there in the world, if you don't read comics, if you want to get into comics, now will be a perfect opportunity for you to do that. Jump into comics. Speaking of comics, let's talk Source Wall. So, this week for the DC pull list, we have Year of the Villain #1. I'm pretty sure Live UN picked this up at Free Comic Book Day. Writers Michael Bendis, Scott Snyder, and also James Tyrion IV, with artists Jim Chung, Alex Maleev, and Francis Manapul. The book's only 25 cents, people. 25 cents. That's a pretty impressive price tag there, considering how much comics cost these days. The premise is that evil is winning. Lex Luthor and the Legion of Doom conspire with cosmic gods, bending mankind toward a dark destiny. Elsewhere, the scourge of the Leviathan spreads unchecked, seizing power in every corner of the world. And all the while, the Batman who laughs busies himself in the shadows. The carnage starts here as the bad guys take center stage in Year of the Villain. So be sure to check that out. Also, we have Deceased #1. Now, if you all read Tom Taylor's Injustice, that original run was easily, to me, some of the most impressive storytelling that I've seen this side of 2010. He returns with a terrifying new tale and is joined by artist Trevor Hairsine and artist Stefano Gardano. To let you know just how epic this book is, it kind of leads with a biblical scripture. It's Revelation 6:8. I looked, and there before me was a pale horse. Its rider was Death, and Hades was following close behind him. A mysterious technovirus has been released on Earth, infecting 600 million people and turning them instantly into violent, monstrous engines of destruction. The heroes of the DCU are caught completely unprepared for a pandemic. Pandemic. Am I saying that word right? Pandemic of this magnitude, and struggle to save their loved ones first. But what happens to the world's greatest heroes if the world actually ends? Can't wait to read that one. Also, wrapping up DC's pull list, we got Deathstroke 43. The Terminus agenda is at its final portion here. The finale is in this book. It's code red for Teen Titans, as their plan to capture and imprison Deathstroke have backfired in the worst possible way. Mercy Hall is on lockdown, and the supervillains have escaped their cells. As the villains team up to take down their captors, Deathstroke makes one final attempt at, quote-unquote, fixing Damian. Will Damian finally abandon Batman's code to save his friends from certain death? I don't know, y'all. It's not looking good for Slade. It's not looking good for Slade. Shout Teen Titans, go to the movies. That was a good movie. Marvel's pull list. We have Major X3. Rob Liefeld continues to impress. With the existence threatened, Major X has no choice but to leap through time to save it. With a little help from Cable and Wolverine, can even the Major overcome the terrible threat of an infamous killer with the initials DP? Wonder who that could be. Savage Avengers #1. Writer Jerry Dugan, and one of my favorite artists of all time, David Finch, have a pretty exciting team for this book. Think of the most savage, most unlikable team of characters in the Marvel Universe, and they have been assembled here, people. You got Wolverine, Venom, Elektra, Punisher, and in the midst of them all, Conan the Barbarian. Now, Conan has turned to the Marvel Universe, and his new adventures begin here in this book, which is Savage Avengers #1. What is the City of Sickles? Who is the Marrow God? How is the Hand involved? The roughest and most dangerous characters rumble through this new title, starting with Conan versus Wolverine. Enough said, people. Enough said. Wrapping up the pull list from Marvel is the classic epic going on right now, War of the Realms #3. North America has frozen into New Jotunheim. Europe has become New Svarthian. I can never say these words right. I can't speak Asgardian. What's wrong with you? Anyways, Asia goes up in flames as the new domain of Queen Cinder and her fire goblins take ilk. Ulick and the trolls lay claim to Australia, while Amora the Enchantress raises an army of the dead in South America. Africa falls to the Angels of Haven, while Roxxon Oil drops its stake in Antarctica. Midgard has now been taken siege by Malekith, the Dark Elf, and his allies. The Avengers' last hope lies in a series of suicide missions across the realms, starting with the rescue of Thor. So we'll see how that happens. In other releases, we have Fallen World #1. It's the year 4002. A cyborg samurai named Rai struggles to find his mortality, while the nanite field super soldier Bloodshot is on a mission to save the citizens of Earth. Will they work together for the greater good? All signs point to no. Oh, and they do mention the fact that there are dinosaurs on the loose and a powerful animal-human hybrid mutants as well. It's going to be a pretty good book. You got Dan Abnett from Aquaman and Adam Polina from X-Force doing this book. Fallen World will have you covered. That's all I got by way of the source wall. Let's take a look at Watch This. Now, with Watch This, our TV and movie news segment, Marvel announces new Ghost Rider and Hellstrom series for Hulu. Ghost Rider the series and Hellstrom are set both to launch in 2020 or 2020. Marvel TV will co-produce the series along with the ABC Signature Studios, with Jeff Loeb, head of Marvel TV, acting as executive producer. Now, similar to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., this Ghost Rider series will focus on the new iteration of Ghost Rider, Robbie Reyes, as opposed to Johnny Blaze. And yes, people, Gabriel Luna will reprise his role as Ghost Rider. Yes, thank God, because in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., he killed that role. Thank you, Hulu. Thank you, Marvel, for making the right decision on that one. Now, Hellstrom TV show is based on the characters Damien and Anna Hellstrom from the comics. The brother and sister duo have a complicated dynamic, and they are the children of a serial killer. Wow. The series follows the two of them as they track down people terrorizing humanity. No word yet on casting choices. Now, as far as some thoughts about this, with these new shows, similar to like they're doing with Netflix, or they did with Netflix, Hulu has the opportunity here to have shows geared toward adult audiences, allow Marvel to get into the deeper, darker storylines, what we've never seen before, and create a whole new universe here. You know, if we can call it a vengeance verse, if you will. This could allow for some other fan favorite characters with a darker past to eventually be featured or even get their own shows. Think of characters like Moon Knight, Blade, Elsa Bloodstone. While they'd each have their own series, they could eventually team up in a Spirits of Vengeance limited series or an annual crossover episode. I think it'd be pretty awesome to see that. Also in Watch This news, we have the new trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay, wait. Just can I speak? All right, listen. I too have mixed feelings about this trailer. Now, fortunately and unfortunately, Nerd Rage has won this round. Basically, there has been so much nerd rage surrounding the way Sonic looked in this trailer and how he'll look in the movie that director Jeff Fowler is going to be changing the CGI design of Sonic in this movie. He has tweeted, "Thank you for the support and the criticism. The message is loud and clear. You aren't happy with the design and you want changes. It's going to happen. Everyone at Paramount and Sega are fully committed to making this character the best he can. Hashtag Sonic movie. Hashtag gotta fix fast." So, again, like I said, I like the idea that they're taking the advice from fans and changing up the design and making him look more closer to the video game adaptation of Sonic. But at the same time, I kind of don't like it because it's like if we as nerds make enough noise, Hollywood will just bend to whatever whim we have. I don't know. I guess it's a good thing. But, you know, I wouldn't want to make this, you know, habitual, you know, whereas, you know, if enough people make enough noise, they'll just change their whole movie. So if it's like, well, if enough people make enough stink or enough noise, why do we need to hire these casting directors or set designers or costume designers? If the fans can just make enough noise and people just change things. But, like I said, it's a good thing. I didn't like how he looked anyway, so we'll hopefully get a better look at a new trailer soon. Jim Carrey is Dr. Robotnik. He's either going to be great or goofy. And it looks like James Marsden has a thing for chauffeuring around CGI'd animals. I'm sure you all saw the Hop movie, and he was carting around the bunny. I guess he's doing the same thing here with Sonic. But that's all we have by way of Watch This. Last week, Thumb Life News was pretty much taken over by Mortal Kombat and Days Gone. So there's not really any news this week surrounding Thumb Life or video games. Aww. Yeah, I know. We're also moving on to other news. Now, in other news this week, if any of you out there are wrestling fans, which I'm sure you are, I mean, nerds watch wrestling. I'm a nerd who watch wrestling. And Dean Ambrose is no more. Welcome back, Jon Moxley. Now, from 2004 to 2011, we all know Jon Moxley, Dean Ambrose. He made a name for himself as Jon Moxley on the independent wrestling circuit, particularly during his time with CZW and the Dragon Gate USA. He signed a developmental deal in WWE back in 2011, and over the next 7 years, he would become a Grand Slam champion by holding each of the company's major championships at least once, while also being a member of one of the most successful factions of the decade, known as The Shield. Now, back in January of this year, WWE officially announced that Ambrose would be leaving the company in April once his current contract expired. WWE then put Ambrose on somewhat of a farewell tour, turning him back into a babyface after his recent heel turn quickly lost steam and then put the Shield back together for a few more matches. Their last bout, which took place during a WWE Network event titled The Shield's Final Chapter, saw the trio beating Baron Corbin, Bobby Trashley, and also Drew McIntyre. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre in a 6-man match. Earlier the same day, all 3 members of The Shield were interviewed on WWE.com by Michael Cole, and the interview wrapped with a question directed at Ambrose asking what he'd do next. The former WWE champion refused to answer. Now, if any of you, like me, saw his resurgence back to not WWE, when he came back to Twitter and social media, we all saw the video package that he did, and that video package was pretty epic. I will say it was epic. The symbolism was definitely there. The fact that he's breaking out of prison, he's being released. You got a dog chasing him. It's a really big dog out of a yard. I mean, the symbolism is there. I mean, and a lot of the people who watched this video really paid close attention to all the symbolism that was involved in the video. Fans also were quick to point out a small detail. There were a pair of dice in the background of the video, and one of the die was on the number 2 and the other on the number 5. Possibly a reference to AEW's first event, Double or Nothing, on May 25th. We'll see how that goes. But we are actually going to wrap up here, folks. This is a pretty short episode. Aww. Yeah, I know. But we will be back next week with more news, more gossip. Actually, not gossip. We don't gossip here at Do You Speak Geek. We give you the facts. We give you the news. We give you the blur and the nerd stuff that you want to hear about. We give you the freaking geek stuff you want to hear about. Because we are blurs and nerds. We are freaks and geeks. That's what we do here. We speak geek. That's right, people. But, like I said, this is the end of episode 7. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Once again, hit us up at Spreaker.com. Follow, subscribe. Also, social medias, Facebook at DYSG Media. Twitter at _ Do You Speak Geek. Instagram at Do You Speak Geek? Go to the YouTube page, subscribe, like, flick the bell for notifications, and leave comments. Also, go be a part of the Patreon. Pledge $1 a month, and you'll be given access to exclusive DYSG content. That wraps up my time. I am Nix. I speak geek. Do you speak geek?